Assalamu alaikum. In this lecture, we will discuss the topic of calculus, and that is function. We will not discuss the basic definitions and the deep concepts of function. I'll just perform a few operations on functions, like how to find value of a function on a particular point, and a few other concepts like inverse of a function, etc. So I'm taking one example, like if we have a function that is function of x, f of x equals to x squared plus x minus 1, and I'm going to tell you how you can calculate the different values of this function on particular points. Suppose I want to calculate the value of function at x equals to 0, x equals to 1, and x is equals to minus 1. So when I'm finding the value of function x at 0, then I'll just simply replace f of x, and wherever the x is, we will just replace x with 0. So we'll have f of 0, that is 0 squared plus 0 minus 1. So we will have f of 0 equals to minus 1. So the value of function f of x at x is 0 is minus 1. Now I'll calculate the value of the same function on x equals to 1, and that will be, we'll simply replace f, then instead of x we will just write 1, and on the right hand side we will also replace x with 1. So it will be 1 squared plus 1 minus 1. So we have, this is 1 plus 1 minus 1, so it is actually 1. So f of 1 is 1, means the value of function at 1 is 1. Now if we see what is the value of function at x is equals to minus 1, we will just simply replace x with minus 1 in f of x. So f of minus 1, that will be minus 1 squared plus minus 1 minus 1. So the negative squared, that will be positive 1, and here positive into negative will be negative 1 minus 1. So the f of minus 1 is minus 1. So this is the way how you can find the particular values of a function on given points. So whatever the value is, just replace x with the given value and you will get the required result. Now I'm taking a few other examples to explain those concepts further. Suppose I have different function f of x, and that is equals to 7x plus 3, and there is another function g of x, and which is equals to 2x over x squared plus 9, and there is another function h of x, whose value is 20 under root 25 minus x squared. Now the question is actually, first let me explain. The question is, part A is, I want to find f of 6, then I need to find g of minus 1, then I need to find h of 4, and these are our tasks. So now how do we proceed? Like I told you before, we just replace the value of x, which is in the bracket in the original function. When we are taking f of 6, we are considering f of x. When we are finding g of minus 1, we will consider g of x. And when we are finding h of 4, we will use the function h of x. So the simple rule is just to replace x with the given value and then solve. That's it. So let me solve the first one, f of 6. Now we have f of x. I'll just replace, I'll just use the empty bracket so that I can just fill the value. This is f of x, then equals to 7 times x. I'll just replace, I'm just writing a bracket, then 3. So now here it was x, but now it is 6, so just replace 6, and this is f of 6, and just solve it. That's 42 plus 3, so the answer is 45. Now similar concept goes in g of minus 1. I'll just write g of x, but instead of x I'll just write a bracket. So g of bracket, that's equals to 2 times bracket, then bracket squared plus 9. So now what's the value of x? Now it's minus 1. So we'll just replace x with minus 1 in the bracket, so that will be minus 1. Here it will be minus 1 minus 1 squared. So the left hand side will be the same, and here we will just solve it. That will be negative 2 over negative 1 squared, that will be positive 1 plus 9. So the answer will be minus 2 by 10, that is minus 1 by 5. Now if you see on the same lines, we can solve h of 4. That will be h of bracket equals to 20 under root 25 minus bracket squared. Now again we will fill the bracket with now 4. We'll have 4, this is 4 squared. So the 20 to the root 25 minus 16, that will be 20 to the root 9, and the answer will be 20 times 3, that's 60. So that was the concept, that how can you find a particular value of a function by just replacing the x, y with the given value, and this concept will be used in further studies. So for this lecture, this is the end. In a future lecture we will discuss the inverse and composition of functions. Thank you.